Hainanese chicken rice is a dish of poached chicken and seasoned rice, served with chili sauce and with cucumber as garnishing. Where to find the best chicken rice in Singapore is always a question that is always brought up by tourists coming to Singapore and among locals like us trying to uncover the best food locally. In this episode, I will be covering some of the best and most famous chicken rice in Singapore. And I'm not just going to stop at there. I'm going to go one more step further in comparing the chicken rice to the most famous chicken rice store in Singapore. The most famous Singapore chicken rice has to be Tian Tian Hainanese chicken rice store. That is going to be my benchmark. And the yardstick that I'm going to use are the flavor of the chicken rice, how the chicken meat is compared across the stores. Chili sauce is an integral part of chicken rice, and that is also one of my comparison as well. And lastly, to me as a budget traveler, pricing is very important, and I will compare the price of one plate of chicken rice across these down selected stores. Since it boils down to comparison, there are some rules, or rather, I would say it's a standardization across the comparison. To have an apple-to-apple comparison, I will use a plate of white chicken breast meat. The portion that I'm going to use is the smallest portion, and that is usually the cheapest denomination, and that will be compared across the board. There are 4 chicken rice stores that I have accessed in this episode. Sit tight and enjoy the journey. Located in the Maxwell Food Center, Tian Tian Hainanese chicken rice is a popular Hainanese chicken rice store that has been around since 1987 and is well known overseas. Be it local or foreign tourists, any mention of chicken rice in Singapore will inevitably link itself to Tian Tian Hainanese chicken rice. Many of travel guides seems to have put Tian Tian chicken rice as one of the to-eat meal in Singapore. So my comparison of chicken rice will not be meaningful and complete if I do not include the purportedly almighty Tian Tian chicken rice. Interestingly, as local who has eaten chicken rice for all his life, I've not eaten Tian Tian before. Ask any local Singaporean, including myself, all have our own personal chicken rice store. And I never heard Tian Tian chicken rice to be mentioned as one of the local best liked chicken rice. Perhaps we all know about the long queue that take place outside of Tian Tian chicken rice, and we do not want to spend our time queuing up, fighting with tourists with the Singapore delicacy. But in the spirit of doing this vlog, I go to Maxwell Hawker Center where Tian Tian is located. There are a handful of chicken rice stores located in the same markets. All these have the typical blue signages with white letterings. Some even claim to be a former chef of Tian Tian. All these chicken rice stores try to capitalize some bits of Tian Tian's goodwill.
一个鸡胸，一个鸡尾，小的好。
To be frank, the wait is not too long. Somehow, Tian Tian has a way to industrialize the ordering process. The order fulfilling process works with clockwork precision. As a big fan and supporter of Singapore local chicken rice, I am very keen to try Tian Tian chicken rice for the very first time. The late celebrity chef Anthony Bourdain once proclaimed that the rice of Tian Tian chicken rice is exceptionally fragrant and flavorsome and is delicious even on its own.
This
one is Thai black.
Thank you.
Welcome.
It is good quality, good value cooking restaurant. Says 2024 Michelin Guide Singapore that lands Tian Tian in the Michelin Guide Singapore together with a handful of chicken rice store in there. One standout factor of Tian Tian chicken rice is the secret dressing that is sprinkled over the poached chicken. instead of the typical soya and sesame sauce. Let me give my personal 2 cents worth. The chili sauce is spicy. There is a tinge of lime to lift the taste of the sauce. As for the chicken meat itself, the chicken is a big portion of the chicken breast meat. I find the chicken breast meat tough and dry. Well, aren't chicken breast meat all inherently like that? As for the chicken rice itself, the rice is distinctly grainy. The fragrance is there on the dry rice grain. My personal preference for rice is a moist one. The price that I paid for chicken breast meat chicken rice is $6. I find the price paid a fair one for the portion of meat served. After all, I am having my food at a Michelin Big Gourmet food stall. The ambience of the dining area is a hawker center setting. This is a no-frill dining atmosphere. The dining ambience lacking in Tian Tian Hainanese chicken rice store is made up at Boon Tong Kee chicken rice restaurant. I'm now standing at River Valley Road as one of another famous traditional and Michelin branded chicken rice as well. I recall Boon Tong Kee chicken rice is one of the first few traditional eateries that go upmarket from a small stores in Chinatown in the late 1990s to this upscale River Valley branch. Since then, Boon Tong Kee has seen 8 restaurants sprouting throughout Singapore currently. This restaurant has seen the pilot of the gimmicky pyramid-shaped chicken rice in 2011. For people who prefer an air-conditioned environment to have one's meal, look no further. Boon Tong Kee is the place. Just be aware that peanuts and serviettes served at the table are charged separately. Be assertive to ask for this to be removed so that you will not get charged into your bill. Here's my personal opinion of the chicken rice at Boon Tong Kee. The chicken rice comes in the shape of a pyramid. It is very unique. I've never seen such design before in other chicken rice stores. I find the rice fragrant, a little on the dry side. As for the chicken, I ordered the standard chicken set, but I was given chicken thigh. Naturally, it is far better than chicken breast. My friend, who has also ordered a standard chicken set, got the chicken breast instead. So I think Boon Tong Kee do not discriminate whether you order chicken breast or chicken thigh. They give you the same chicken. I find that the chicken served here is wet and supple and comes in quite a pretty large portion. The chili is spicy but a little sweet. Perhaps I'm too used to the chicken rice sourish chili sauce that I'm not too used to this new taste. There are also complimentary side dish served, in this case sour vegetables or mei tai. Price-wise, I paid $7 for the chicken itself. Rice is separately charged at $1.20. With service charge and GST, it comes close to $10. While it is more expensive than the hawker setting chicken rice, it comes with better ambience and bigger portion of the chicken and a better part of the chicken meat as well. This is how I compare Boon Tong Kee chicken with Tian Tian Hainanese chicken rice store. I'm standing right in front of Chinatown Complex Food Center. Chinatown Food Center is one of the largest hawker centers in Singapore where hawker stores can be found in dazzling labyrinth. It has over 700 stores in here and a handful of original Chinatown hawker that used to ply the streets are housed within the hawker center complex. The star in this episode, Heng Ji, is just one of them. Heng Ji chicken rice is probably still the standing oldest chicken rice store in Singapore. It started off in Smith Street, Chinatown. For over 60 years, the chicken rice store has been serving its own fan base for the longest time before currently relocated to Chinatown Complex Food Center. Heng Ji has got one of the very distinctive pale white chicken serving on its rack. This is probably an old school chicken rice style. While many chicken rice stores offer a variation from the traditional poached chicken with offering of roasted chicken rice, Heng Ji chicken rice seems to buck its trend, like going into cooking diversification, like into 紫茶。
我要鸡胸，小的。吃的对。
Heng Ji chicken rice only specializes in poached chicken rice and nothing else. This is what I think of Heng Ji chicken rice after sampling the food. Firstly, the rice has got the right moisture. While it has this subtle flavor, this, my personal preference, is apparently the moist chicken rice. As for the chicken breast meat, it is tough but moist, very much different from Tian Tian chicken rice where the meat is tough and dry. Looking back, Heng Ji comes closer to my childhood impression of chicken texture. During my time, where the texture of the chicken meat is rough at its edges and not too refined. That is the most commendable of Heng Ji. The chili is spicy and has a sweet undertone, something that I'm not too used to it. The separate ginger sauce is too gingery for me, to the extent of spicy. The price of the plates of chicken rice is $3.80. This is one of the cheapest chicken rice that one can get in central Singapore. While this old style chicken rice is a no-frill one with a not too appealing environment, I think Heng Ji has got a high CP value given its price. If you want to have a taste of what chicken rice tastes like probably 30 years ago, Heng Ji is probably the one. The below show how Heng Ji compares to with Tian Tian chicken rice. Chicken rice is one of my comfort food and staple. It is readily available throughout every corner in Singapore. In fact, the chicken rice business has gone so competitive and commoditized that one need not go all the way into the city center to get it. I am blessed to have a good chicken rice store near where I stay. This is Yishun 925 chicken rice store, which has got 7 stores all over Singapore. It is said that Yishun 925 could be the best chicken rice in north of Singapore. The headquarters of Yishun 925 chicken rice naturally has to be in Yishun Block 925. There's no doubt about it. So here am I, going on my way to Yishun Block 925 to Yishun 925 headquarters. The coffee shop in which the chicken rice is located is conveniently situated at a walking distance from Yishun MRT station. I must say, coffee shops and hawker centers are such a convenient place for local Singaporeans to get their everyday meal. Just like any good food in Singapore, normally there will be a queue in such famous food store. And Yishun 925 chicken rice store is no exception to this.
给我一盘鸡胸，3块半，谢谢。
So this is how I find the food in Yishun 925. The chili is a little bit too spicy for me, and that comes with a tinge of sourness, probably lime. I love how Yishun 925 tender its classical debone chicken. Even though it is chicken breast meat, it is tender, succulent, and soft. The chicken rice is fragrant and I like it being moist. There are additional freebies that comes with the plates of chicken rice ordered. First, the soup, which I find it a little over savory for my liking. And then there is this achar. That sourish, appetite-lifting carrot and cucumber salad is what I also like about Yishun 925. The price of one plate of chicken breast meat costs $3.50. While the meal portion is not as big, the price itself is so cheap and value-packed for money when compared to the ones selling in downtown. Here is how Yishun 925 compared to Tian Tian. What I'm trying to demonstrate is that good chicken rice can be eaten all over Singapore Island. So locals do not usually go downtown for their famous store to get their chicken rice craving fixed. Do you have your favorite chicken rice store? Tell us in the comments section.